Hey guys, Steeple here. Today we're going to be looking at cruisers in World of Warships and talking about some basic gameplay strategy for them. So typically what I'll do in cruisers is just kind of grab the nearest island and use that for cover and start shooting ships long range. And then you kind of have to be able to respond to developing situations as the game unfolds. Cruisers are probably best viewed as like a support class, so you'd have to keep an eye on the map and see what's developing and be able to help your team out as best as possible. And cruisers are a broad class. I mean, you'll see it, the more ships you unlock, they do play quite differently from each other, but this is just kind of a basic guide that should apply to most of them. You see I'm getting detected right off the bat, and I do a pretty good job of getting behind cover and staying undetected through most of this match. You'll see, but sometimes when the ships first appear, you're not quite behind cover yet. I had a few people asking me about ammo types and what to shoot. Kind of as a general rule, I'll cover ammo types in a different video very shortly, so stay tuned for that because it is a fairly complicated topic. But let's just say for cruisers, as a rule of thumb, if they're over 8 kilometers away, you'd want to be shooting high explosives. You'll notice the shells at this distance, they're very loopy. They shoot very high into the air and kind of come straight down, so armored piercing doesn't work that well. You want to look for trajectories where they're going more horizontally into the ship, and typically that's going to be at shorter distances. You can see I'm undetected here, so as long as I'm undetected, I'm just going to sit back here and keep trying to cause fires. You know, there's really no threat to me at all. You do have to, I mean, you know, yeah, I'm shooting a lot of shots off, but there's not a lot, quote-unquote, going on right now, so you have plenty of time to keep a very close eye on this map. So I do notice that, you know, we did the one ship directly on the other side of the island from me. So I am keeping an eye on him, and then I'm also keeping an eye on my left flank. Because those guys, if they push forward, they'll start spotting me, and then I'll start taking return fire. So, and this game so far, I've been pretty much stopped. Again, that's coming down to me not being detected for the most part. A lot of cruiser games will kind of want to find a position and then kind of slowly pull forward or pull backward as the ships are moving around you, and you'll see, I believe I do some of that a little bit later, I'll point that out, but see a lot of like new players just hit it on full speed and sail off toward the other team, and that doesn't really work as well, in my opinion. It's best just to try and get near some cover and utilize that to your benefit. So we do have a fair amount of damage so far for a little tier 3 cruiser here. And again, it's just basically holding down the trigger, and I got a very quick reload on these cruisers. They feel a lot quicker than like a battleship, for instance. But our team's doing pretty good on this side. I haven't been keeping too close of it. Looks like they're not doing as well on the other side, so. And here I want to point out, like, it looks like I'm aiming at that island, and we can't really hit that guy, but you'll notice they are landing. It's because, again, the gun arc. So you do want to kind of practice with this. That guy's a little closer. If he's... I don't think I mentioned earlier when I was talking about ammo types, AP you want to use when they're horizontal to you as well, when they're showing their complete broadside. It's not going to do as well if they're facing away or towards you, or if they're kind of angled in between. So that shot there, you could have switched to AP. I mean, the guy was low enough health that I guess it wasn't really a major concern. As a cruiser, you are going to want to keep an eye out for destroyers like this. Someone else was able to finish them off. They are harder to hit than the slower ships, obviously, but that's kind of one of your jobs, in my opinion, is to defend from the destroyers. So you have the much quicker rate of fire than like a battleship, and a battleship's going to typically have armor-piercing rounds loaded at all times, and those are going to over-penetrate the weakly armored destroyer. So it's kind of odd to think, but battleships are not really set up to deal with these small, flimsy little ships because their shots will just go straight through them before they even explode. So, and you do have the speed to kind of deal with torpedoes that'll be in the water. You see, I haven't really used my consumables this match yet. A lot of consumables for cruisers are focused on like detection of torpedoes or enemies and stuff like that. So you have airplanes, sonar, things of that nature. And you do want to be using those. I just haven't really had a great opportunity yet to use them in this particular match. But as a support class type vehicle, if you're able to spot targets, like if you see someone, a destroyer deploying smoke, for instance, and you're able to use your sonar to penetrate the veil and spot those targets for your team, that's very important to do so, because the ships on your team that aren't able to do that are kind of relying on you, so you do have to be kind of Johnny on the spot. And you see, now we've kind of exhausted the targets from my first island there, so we're just kind of rotating over to the next one and trying to put some long-range shots into this battleship. I do want you guys to stay tuned. Those little numbers on the vertical bar there, they do mean something. I think a lot of people think they're kind of aesthetic or whatever. They're actually the key to hitting these long-range shots. And frankly, I'm not really doing that good of a job shooting long-range this game. But especially, we'll talk about it more probably tomorrow with the battleship video. And then I'll probably follow it up with an even more specific video on aiming. So stay tuned on that. But these long-range shots, they're a mix of trial and error when you're shooting like this, especially when you're quickly shooting. But if you're taking in the information on the screen, you can be plugging shots into the sides of your targets. So now you see we're kind of, I probably should have stopped this a little bit earlier. I was trying to get some torpedoes out, but now we're kind of backing out. And I want to keep this island in between me and the leftmost of these two guys. I don't want to have both of them with a nice clear shot at me. So now it's a 1v3 situation. So I'm kind of fingers crossed his torps hit, and I'm just trying to, if I can get this guy on fire now, and he'll probably instinctively put it out, and then if he got flooded, that'd be huge. I don't think we're able to pull that off, but that's kind of what you want to be thinking about in your mind. Destroyers, cruisers, when you're playing torpedoes, you know, it's something you want to strive for. You want them to burn their repairs before your torpedoes hit, because if they're sitting there with a couple floods, they're going to go down really quickly. So it's unfortunate that fire didn't start a little bit earlier. He probably repaired flood damage, now he's on fire, so kind of works both ways. But both flood and fire, they're nice residual damages that last for a while, so it's more of an intermediate kind of play to be thinking about, but it's good to get in the habit of at least being aware of that thinking. Alright, so we took him out. Now we got the battleship on that side of the island, and got one more cruiser, which hadn't been seen for a while. You can see in the map there, he's gray from the northwest corner. So in my mind right now, I'm thinking, alright, well, let's get some torpedoes in the water for this guy. He's probably thinking the guy's going to try and torpedo me, so gonna deal with that. You know, we do get detected, and we're not seeing the battleship, so I'm assuming at this point it's the cruiser. And this will be a trying to sneak a little shot in on there. That'd be difficult at that range. But again, you should be looking at like your consumables, like anything that can enhance your vision. Alright, so I've captured all 3 points now, so I pretty much have to eliminate these guys to win the game. And we got, I don't know. Oh, there's the destroyer pops in. Now, luckily for me, it's very low health. Keep an eye on the ammo. Shoot some high explosives as soon as he turns the broadside. I'm gonna switch on over to AP. AP, you want to be kind of shooting at the water line. That's where you're gonna get these citadel shots, and we'll land one there and take them out. And now we've moved the 3-on-1 to a 1v1, so it's gonna get some torpedoes in the water here. And he's got the hit points and the guns to smoke me, so I'm just gonna keep this island between me and him. If these torpedoes hit him, it's game over. If they don't, I'm gonna make sure he can't shoot me. Keep the island between me and him and get another salvo, and you know. So I gotta kill this guy with torpedoes at this point. So that's the thought process at this point. Luckily, we're able to land like 3 or 4 shots there and put him in the ground. So that's a good look at cruisers. If you liked the video, please hit the thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, you can consider subscribing. If you got any comments or questions on cruisers, leave them below. And stay tuned for more World of Warships content coming soon. Peace.